Macros, Mindset, and Muscles.
I'm Coach James.
And I'm Coach Brittany.
We're here to give you the truth about health and fitness.
No gimmicks, no bullshit, just facts. Whew. Y'all only knew the troubles we just went through to make this episode happen.
Yeah, we had to contact the IT department for a little help.
And we are
Google.
Yeah, we are the IT department using our thumbs to figure out why the hell this wasn't recording.
Yeah.
Turns out we just needed to turn off the laptop and start it over. So that works great.
Sometimes it's the simplest answer.
Yeah.
Simplest thing.
You know, like back in the day, like when your game wouldn't work, you just take it out and blow on it. Blow across the cartridge.
Have a bunch of dog hair and dust in it.
Stick it back in.
Yeah, just slam it back in there and hope it works. Anyway, so
today we are going to talk about what happens after you hire a coach.
All right.
At this point, you probably have tried a whole bunch of things on your own and you're frustrated because you don't understand why you're not reaching your goals, whether it's weight loss or muscle gain, whatever the case is.
May have tried it 2 or 3 times. Yep. Tried your cousin's thing that they did one time.
But nothing's working.
Nothing.
So you hire a coach to help you do that. So what happens then?
I don't know what does happen then, Brittany.
So that's what I'm saying. We're talking about what happens then. I wasn't asking you what happens then.
Oh,
okay.
I was
telling you.
Yeah. Well, tell me what happens.
Okay. So obviously your coach, you hired them based on some type of connection you felt with them, a vibe. Maybe you like what they post about. Maybe they post helpful information. Maybe you like their personality. You've seen their client results, whatever the case is. Like you have established a relationship with this coach and you're trusting them to guide you. Now, mind you, everything you've done at this point has not worked.
Nope.
Okay. This is why you hired a coach, because everything you've done hasn't worked. I'm going to say that again because I want you to remember it.
Yeah, say it again.
Everything you've done hasn't worked.
Ooh, your way ain't working.
Okay. So you are going to trust your coach.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Now, when you hire a coach, obviously, you know, there's expectations on both sides. There's expectations from like your coach, like expects from you. And there's expectations that you can have for your coach as well. And if you have already discussed like with your coach, you should understand what those expectations are. We're going to go over how we start with our clients and what our expectations are. And your coaches probably are similar.
Are we going to go over like what you should expect from a coach, like a good coach? Right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Great. Awesome.
So what you can expect from your coach is guidance. You can trust that, you know, they're going to have your best interest at heart. Most coaches, I will say, not every
good coach.
Yeah, a good coach. We're speaking specifically about good coaches.
Good coach, yes.
Because a good coach will care about your well-being. They will not just diet you down for the sake of getting you results and then leave you on your own to figure shit out.
Right. Your health and your well-being is their number one concern.
Yep. Your health and well-being
and
matters.
Mental health. All the health.
Yes. Mental health especially. This is a lifestyle change. This isn't meant to be a quick sprint across the finish line. Like this is going to be a journey. It's going to take time. And those expectations should be laid out in the beginning. Most coaches have a process that they go through. When we start with clients, you know, they start with us understanding that we're probably going to have to increase your calories.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, I can't even say especially women, because most men tend to, you know, undereat certain macros as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, they have no idea of actually what they're eating. I mean, they know like, oh, I went here and I ate this and that, but they don't know like macro wise, like what they've been putting in their body and why it's affecting them the way that it is until we like have them track and take a look at like their intake. We don't know.
So that's part of our process is like increasing calories in the beginning. It may not be what you want to do.
Right.
You know,
sometimes it's not fun eating more chicken versus like the fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, you may not want to increase your calories because you're frustrated because you're not losing weight. But maybe that's what your body needs. And you don't know this because you're so stuck on the number on the scale that you can't get past it, that you're terrified to eat more because you will gain a little bit of weight back, but it'll put your metabolism in a better place. But remember that everything you've done hasn't worked at this point. Okay. So this is why you hired a coach.
Yep.
Every coach is going to be different, how they handle things, of course, but knowing your expectations, like what to expect from the program going in, will make a world of a difference. And you should have questions for your coach.
And they should respond to you in a timely manner, in a timely fashion.
So as far as expectations, further expectations from you, you should know what to expect. You should get a program that's custom for you if that's what your coach does. Now, if a coach advertises that they do like group programs or whatever and they're not customized, then fine. If that's what you signed up for, then you're aware of it, that's fine. But if you are working with somebody one-on-one and you're expecting a custom program, you should be getting a custom program. A custom program would include, them understanding your history, your injuries, your limitations, the equipment that you have access to, because in a custom program, you may not have the same equipment that somebody else has. You may not have a bunch of dumbbells or whatever. Like, your custom program should be based on you. And that's something, that needs to be clearly defined, before you start working with your coach. What else do we got? Expectations, from your coach.
Custom program.
Communication.
Communication is number
a huge one. And this goes on both sides, but we're going to talk expectations, what you can expect from your coach first.
Yeah, and this is one that even I've had experience in, and having a coach that was new, it was very knowledgeable, things like that. Did not communicate very well, and it's not something that at the time I needed someone to communicate with me, let me know what I was doing, why I was doing it, because of the process I was in. It was new to me, and he just wasn't. It wasn't a good fit. Anyway,
so communication is big, and I'm also I've had experience with lack of communication as well, and it's not something that's fun. You're on this journey, you don't know what to expect. You have a whole bunch of questions. Why am I doing this or why am I doing that? The days of just do what you're told, you don't have to do that. If you have a coach that's just do what I say, go the other way. Because if a coach can't explain to you why they're doing something, then they probably don't know what they're doing.
It's true.
Or they have really old school thinking. Most people want to understand the why behind things.
There are some clients that really could care less about the why and just hey, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Just give me
the plan.
Fine.
But if you have a bunch of questions, you shouldn't.
If you're wanting to learn and to be able to do this on your own, and not to rely on a coach forever.
Yeah.
Which is the type of clients that we want. We want to help teach and so that they learn and
to live a better lifestyle.
To live a better lifestyle and one day be able to just do this on their own and progress, gradually by themselves.
So communication, furthering, timely responses fall under communication. Most coaches have their preferred methods of communicating. They have certain, ground rules or whatever. I know some coaches will only respond to emails once a week, so if you have questions, put them all in a document and send them over once a week and they'll answer every question that you've had. There's other coaches that do weekly check-ins and they just address questions on those days only. There's there's coaches like us that, our clients, we work with them. One-on-one, we don't take on an unlimited number of clients. We know our client load, and we communicate throughout the weeks with them via text message, messenger, our app, whatever's preferred by the client. They all have their own way that they prefer to reach out. Some clients I communicate with on Facebook Messenger. They're in other countries, and that's the only way I can communicate with them. That lines up. We can video and stuff. Others is the app, and most of my clients text me.
Yeah.
I try to respond to all messages within 24 hours, usually.
But we're very personal.
Yeah, pretty quick about it, though.
Yeah, we're in pretty open communication with our clients.
Like, this
on
is
a day-to-day basis.
This is what we do. This is my job. My job is to be a coach, and I try to be timely about everything. More formal, like, I don't get into deep stuff until the weekly check-in. The weekly check-in, I will go over everything and make program changes,
Right.
which is another expectation, which we'll go into next. But timely responses.
Timely response. Right.
You shouldn't have to wait a week for a response for something that's not normal, especially if you're having issues, something got hurt. Like, you should be able to contact your coach and, get substitutions or modifications or whatever. What did I just say we were going to go into next?
I don't know.
Prep brain.
Yeah, we're severely.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about adherence. And
no, we're talking about.
No, it was.
This is why we need notes.
We need notes. Something.
Communication. Timely responses. I know y'all are probably like, oh my gosh, y'all are ridiculous. Yeah. But if you actually talk to us right now and like daily, you would understand, like, this is not uncommon. Like, we're 26 days away from a bodybuilding show, so we are depleted and calorie deprived and hungry and tired and hungry.
Sometimes, and then every now and then we're also hungry.
Yeah, but mostly just hungry.
But
so it happens.
But anyway, so communication is the big one, and then where were you going with that?
No, but it was good because it was a whole topic.
It was going to change lives.
Okay, so we literally had to pause it and go back and listen because we could not remember what we were talking about. So another expectation, something you should be able to expect from your coach, is program changes. If you're trying to lose weight or gain muscle, you're going to have to make changes. And this is a continuous thing. Like, you don't just make one change and you follow the same program forever with the same nutrition. Like, things have to change in order to keep progressing.
Exactly.
You got to keep increasing your weights. You got to work on bigger movements. If you're starting out small with modifications, you want to get to those full-blown movements. Like, if you're starting with like wall squats or box squats, like with no weight, and you're just doing body weight and just trying to get form down, eventually you're going to need to go to, a real squat with dumbbells or barbell. It depends on the person. Like, not everybody needs to do barbell squats, but squatting is a functional movement. You squat all day, every day. So even if you have bad knees, you're still squatting throughout the day, and it is a functional exercise, and you need to be doing it.
So you should be expecting program changes.
Yes, program changes, period.
Period. So, all right.
Okay.
Communication, program changes.
Mm-hmm.
And should we get into what they should expect from us?
Well, what we should expect from them.
Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Yes. What should we expect from our client?
Okay.
For a client.
And I think this goes across the board. Okay. Like we've discussed, what you have done hasn't worked. That's why you hired a coach.
Well, I'd like to start with just one of the same expectation is communication. The coach cannot pry information out of you. I mean, we can ask questions, but like trying to run someone down to ask them this and that every single time, every single week, like it's shouldn't have to pry information from someone.
If you're not communicating with us, then we can't
do our
help
job.
You with those issues. If you're having trouble doing an exercise, but you never say, "Hey, I'm having trouble with this. Can you help me?" We can't help you. Like, we're not mind readers.
Yeah. How do I don't know that something is bothering you or your shoulder is tweaked a little bit, and when you do this one exercise it bothers you. I don't know that. But if it's communicated, then we can address the issue, come up with a modification or a mobility plan, something.
Yeah. You have to be able to communicate issues. Even if you feel like Coaching is very personal. You know, we want to make sure that for my ladies, you're having your periods regularly. If your periods aren't regular, that can cause other issues, and there could be hormonal imbalances, which might require you to go to a doctor. So, having that information is vital, especially like as a coach coaching women. We need to know if you're not having bowel movements because that could be, based on what you're eating, and we can help you make suggestions there, get more fiber in your diet, especially if you're consuming, more protein than you're used to. It's not uncommon to have those issues when you start consuming more protein.
Yeah, I actually had a coach tell me that, I was like almost obsessed because every time I had a check in, like I was very open about my bowel movements. I was just like, hey, this is off, this is not, this is that. But because like you just said, because of the diet that I was following at the time, it was causing some irregularities, and I was just making him aware of it.
We also want to know, if you're not sleeping well, like these little things that you overlook that you feel like have no significance, your coach wants to know about.
Yes.
Um, it's a personal journey, and especially when you're working on changing your lifestyle, the little things could matter. They could mean nothing, but they could matter. And if you don't discuss it with your coach, then it can't be addressed.
Exactly.
So communication, compliance is another thing, because remember, everything that you have done hasn't worked for you. So that's why you hired a coach. Okay. You can't hire a coach and then still do your own thing. You're wasting your money. Like, you might as well just keep your money and not hire a coach and keep doing the same thing that doesn't work for you.
Right.
But if you're going to hire a coach and you're going to trust them with your process, then you have to trust them. Ask the questions so you understand the why, but do the plan.
Yeah, like if you have concerns, ask questions about it, but the plan's no good if you don't execute on it.
If your coach sets a protein goal for you, and say your protein goal is 150 grams of protein a day, that's your goal, 150, not 120, not 185, it's 150. And, a rule of thumb is like 5 grams either way.
Right.
So if you're 150, you go 145 to 155 in that range. But you don't want to be way under your goal, because then you're not following the program. We don't know how your body is actually going to respond to the nutrition because you're not following it. You're not complying.
Right. We can't adjust the nutrition because there's no constant. It's been just all over the place.
If you're trying to lose fat and you're in a deficit and your calorie intake, is set to be 1650. This is just a random number, low number, but 1650. Then your goal is 1650. It's not 1350 or 1200 or 1100 or 2000 one day and another low number the next day. Like, it's consistency across the board. You are trying to dial in and find what works for your body. But if you're not doing your part, your coach can't do their part. They can't make changes to your program because you're not following the program. You're doing your own thing.
Right. Yeah, the consistency is the key to the whole thing, whether it's the stuff that's in the gym or your water intake or the nutrition. If you're not consistent, then we have nothing to base on. You're just throwing darts.
Yeah. Like, you have to be consistent. You have to be compliant. You don't have to be a yes man and just do what you're told because you're told to do that. No. There's reasoning behind it. And if you want to know why, ask.
Exactly.
Do your check-ins. This goes with compliance. Okay. As a coach, it's our job to support you, but we can't care about your goals more than you.
Right.
You have to be just as invested as we are. If you are not doing your check-ins and you're half-assing stuff, you're not logging in what you're supposed to be logging in, then it's not our job to chase you down and make you want to work for your goal. Like you have to want it more than we do.
Yeah. It's frustrating when you feel as a coach, and you see somebody that's got a lot of potential and all these things, but you're feeling like you want it more than they do because they're not communicating with you, or they're not adhering to a program, or any of those things. And but yeah, you have to do those things.
Yeah, you have to want it and you have to do the work to want it. That's why you will see some coaches have clients with amazing results and amazing progress pictures and doing amazing things because they're following the plan
And they want
and they're
it.
not half-assing it. They're hitting their targets. They're hitting, their X amount of workouts a week. They're hitting their nutrition and there's no wiggle room. Like they're hitting it within 5 grams either way.
And that means hitting your nutrition within 5 grams. That means you may still be hungry. You might still be, or you're already full. You're already full, but you still need 20 grams of protein for that day, or 25. Say 25.
Yeah.
You're like, gosh, I don't even want to eat. But for me to hit my goal, I still need to do like a protein shake before I go to bed for me to hit my goal. It's inconvenient. Like you don't want to do it, but to stay on track, to be on plan, to do what, to adhere to your program, that's what you have to do. And that's when you start getting like mentally tough and that discipline kicks in, to do those things.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really.
It is. It's eating when you don't want to and not eating when you want to. That is it.
Working out when you don't want to.
Yeah, nobody wants to work out
going for
all
a
the time.
walk in the evenings when it's freaking 90 degrees outside. But
Or 4 or 5 in the morning before you go to work.
yeah,
If that's when
going to bed earlier, so that you can do those things. You have to be willing to change. Like if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Say it
What
again.
you've been doing hasn't been working. So something has to change, period. That's why you hired a coach.
Nothing changes. Nothing changes.
Exactly. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results.
You can't just do half the program either. Like you say, you
do half the programs, you might get half the results.
Probably won't even get that.
But you probably won't.
You probably will just be working out and the same.
Yeah, which if you're working out, you'll probably feel better.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not going to see the physical changes that you want to see.
Unless
that you could see if you were complying.
Yeah, and it comes with practice too. Don't get like it's not easy at first. Like for somebody going from unstructured eating to more structured or tracking your food, it's not easy planning your meals. It's not easy tracking, and it's not easy forcing yourself to eat when you don't want to eat, or eating things that you really want to eat this, but for your goal, you actually need to be eating this other thing.
And you have to decide, what's more important.
Is this temporary pleasure for this one little meal?
Because that's all it is. It's temporary.
Temporary. Is this more important than my health, my well-being, and my future?
And that's not saying that, you shouldn't have things you enjoy. You should. But if you're struggling every day to hit your targets, then there's some deeper things going on there. Like your priorities are mixed up a little bit.
Yeah.
If your health is as important to you as you say it is, then we shouldn't have to be like, hey, why didn't you hit your protein on this many days? Like protein, and we stress protein a lot, the most important.
Right. And with a lot of our clients, a lot of people are under eating on their protein.
Yeah. And with a lot of our clients, we don't even focus on all the macros. We focus on the calorie count and protein.
Yeah.
Because, most people just under protein, period. Men, women, that are not in the gym bodybuilding and regularly hitting that stuff.
No, it's not just a gender specific.
Yeah.
I've had male clients that severely underate on protein, like severely, and getting them onto a program to where they were eating was a challenge. It was definitely a challenge, and some people just don't want it bad enough. Sad truth is some people just don't want it.
It is
that bad.
It's like, I feel like you like
It's a
some
good
people
idea. Like,
hire a coach because they like, oh, well, this coach did that for that person. So if I hire this coach, it's going to be easy and I'm going to get the results that I want to get because I have a coach. But it doesn't work. You do. Like the plan doesn't work unless you do the work.
right.
Like we can structure the most perfect plan for you based on your life, your schedule, everything. But if you're not taking the steps necessary, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
That is the ugly truth of the matter.
It is.
Is that the best plan is worth nothing if you don't follow it.
I mean, you could have, you know, Mr. Olympia's plan or Miss Olympia's plan. You know, these are professional bodybuilders. For
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, you could have their plan, but if you're not complying and doing what you're supposed to do, you're not going to have the same results. You're not going to look the way they look. First of all, it takes years and years and years of training for that type of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff goes into that.
But that's just an example.
Yeah.
You know, if your friend, you know, lost 25 pounds following a plan from a coach, you know, and you want to do the same, but you only do part of the plan, like, and you expect the same results, it doesn't work that way. You got to be willing to work, and it's got to matter to you.
You got to be willing to.
It's got to matter to you more than it matters to your coach.
And you got to be willing to get uncomfortable. It's not going to be comfortable at first. It's not going to be convenient. It's not going to be always fun. You're doing something new, and new is always scary. New is always scary. Like I've never done this. Even when I began meal prepping, like that's something I fought forever. Like and counting and all that stuff. Like I was like, oh no, I just I just got to eat a lot. So well, it didn't work out well. My way didn't work out well. I blew up like a tick. But as soon as I followed a plan and it was structured and I was controlling what I was eating, then my body changed.
Well, when you control the variables, you know what you can control. And, let's face it, most of us can control what we put in our bodies. Stuff might happen, emergencies come up, you have kids sporting games or whatever, and maybe you can't get to the gym, legitimately can't get to the gym. Or maybe you're just really worn down and tired and you do need that extra rest. You can still control what you put in your body. You can always control what you put in your body.
Somebody has to travel for work or something like that. It's more important that you miss that little workout but hit your nutrition.
But then it would be to stress and get a workout in.
And then go eat a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
Because
you can't outwork.
You cannot outwork a bad diet.
Yeah, you cannot outwork bad nutrition.
Never.
And it's not even bad nutrition, bad habits. Like, you can go out to eat at a restaurant and make better choices that would suit your goals rather than just saying, okay, I'm at a restaurant. Fuck it. I'm just going to eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
But again, that's not even the topic.
Yeah,
so we're not going to go
but it's that
it.
fuck it mentality.
Yeah.
It really is like, fuck it. You made a commitment and a promise to yourself, but you're quick to say, fuck it. I'd rather eat this and have that little bit of temporary pleasure.
This is easier. It's easier for me to go pick this up from this restaurant. It's easier for me to go get this fast food.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. It's easier to do this. I'm under my calories. It's okay. It's easier.
And
but
what
then
happens?
You're not hitting your goals. You're getting that one meal.
I'll tell you what, that fucking mentality is contagious and it spreads and it grows super fast because once you say fuck it that one time, it's going to be so much easier to say fuck it again and you're going to do it again and then again. And then next thing you know, it's been weeks or a week or a month and you are so far off your track and you're looking in the mirror and you're just like, shit, what happened?
So kind of like we were talking about it, like I said, it'd be easy to just go grab something, grab a quick fast food option. Be easy to skip the workout, it'd be easy to sleep in a little later. But remember, like, this isn't supposed to be easy.
It's not.
You're supposed to get uncomfortable. Uncomfortable means maybe you wake up earlier than you'd like because it means getting your shit done. Maybe, instead of binge watching Netflix for 4 hours on the weekend, you take 2 hours of that time and you meal prep for the week. I mean, it's not hard. Even if you just sit down and write out a menu for the week, like knowing what you're going to eat helps because you have a plan. And if you follow the plan, then you'll succeed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's
Or
pretty
like
much,
having cutoff times. Like say you enjoyed Netflix at night and stuff like that, but have you a cutoff time. If you're going to start, you want to start getting up in the morning and start doing stuff. Like, okay, well, I can still Netflix. I can still watch these shows or a movie, or whatever. But at this certain time, I need to call it quits because I need to get to bed because I do want to get up early because I want to make sure I hit my workout or I want to do this or I don't have my meals together for tomorrow. So I need to go to bed early. So in the morning, I have time to get something together. That way, I'm not at work and having to run out, get a burger or some quick fast food BS.
you're prepared.
And you're saying fuck it because I'm hungry and I'm stuck at work.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, you have to want it, period.
Yeah. Period. Adherence.
Yep.
Communication, honesty.
Yep.
Honesty. Now, as a client, it's very important to be honest about like just whatever is going on, whether you fell off your diet or not. Like your coach is going to be able to tell either way. So you might as well just be honest about it. Like it's not, we can't work on something if we don't have, you don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not willing to talk about it, then how can we address it and start working through it and to improve on it?
As coaches, we're not here to judge you. We're here to help you.
Yeah. This is
And we're not going to judge you, for whatever happened, but we can help you work through it. And part of it, big part of this is mentality and mindset. And, you have to be willing to do the work on your mindset as well.
That's true.
And that comes into, everything, making it a habit to communicate, making it a habit to do your check-ins. If your coach says do by this time, like you got to do it by this time. Otherwise you're throwing off the whole feng shui of everybody else's check-ins and your coach's processes and stuff too. Like having, consideration for others, I think is a big thing too. Like where your coach, like your coach and everything, or your coach, like you have your coach, but your coach like runs a business and they have lives too. So, if they say, okay, this is the day that we're doing check-ins, turn it in by this day. Otherwise it will not get responded to until like possibly the next day or two. And if you're late, you cannot be upset that your check-in did not get responded to.
Right. And it's, what would suck is someone missing their check-in and them just being like, oh, well, I'll just check in next week. Well, there's may have been some issue that's been kind of lingering now for 2 weeks. It could have been addressed, adjusted, and, and gotten back on track. Yeah. But now, instead of it being, just now we're just further away from the goal and we got to get back onto the track. When it could have been just addressed quick, hey, let's do this. All right, good. I mean, we don't want anybody suffering by any means. We don't want somebody, if they're having issues with whether it's an injury or these crazy cravings or whatever. If somebody's having a problem and they're binging or something like that, well, okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's get to the root of it. Like,
yeah, why did you do this? Like, what were you feeling? What led up to this? Yeah, what happened that led you to this? What were you feeling? Like, there's just a lot more to it.
Let's go. Yeah, let's dive deeper. Let's go five back and let's see where it started.
Another thing like your coach expects is like intensity. I feel like that's one that needs to be addressed because like if you're in the gym and you're half-assing your workouts and you're not picking weights that, make you feel winded or, that you feel close to failure when you're at the end of the set, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. If you cannot rate your workout, on a scale of 1 to 10, a 7 to 10 on any given day, you're not pushing hard.
Yeah, and that doesn't even go back onto your coach. That goes right. That is the client. That is their mindset and your intensity. Because as simple as an exercise is, is I mentally can take it to a 9, 10 every time. I don't care if it's doing push-ups or whatever. Like I can take it there, whether I slow the reps down or I doing pause reps,
go heavier with your
full
weights,
rep and a half rep, whatever it is, and then go into failure. Whatever I had to do, like that's where my mentality is because I know the body won't change until it needs to change. So it won't adapt unless it's challenged. So if you're just going through exercises, like you said, half-assed.
Yeah, you're just doing them to do them. And
you're just doing motions and it's not physically difficult. So why would your body want to become stronger? Well, I'm not even talking about
why would your body want to build more tissue if you're not stimulating it?
Yeah, you're not stimulating. But breaking it down to even like I was saying, just basic is why would it need to get stronger if you're not requiring it to?
Yeah. If you're, going in and, you're doing bicep curls with 5 pounds and you're able to do them just, easy, like nothing. And you're not even like your heart rate doesn't even increase when you're
didn't break the sweat.
Didn't break sweat. I won't say didn't break sweat. Heart rate didn't even increase. You're not pushing yourself hard enough.
No.
And that's something that, we see a lot and we got to keep, our clients on their toes because your workouts should be intense. If it's too easy, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. It's not the program, it's you.
Right.
And that's something that, you have to recognize.
Because if you didn't know, your body, when you push it like that, it's going to adapt. It's going to think, oh, wow, we may have to do this again down the road. So let's get stronger. So that's what happens. And if you don't push it to there, it's not going to get stronger. It's not going to adapt. It's not going to build extra tissue. It's just going to be exactly what it's going to be. And then if you didn't put yourself in that hard, you're not. Anyway, I'm not going to go way down that line. We can just.
I think pretty much covered everything. So what you can expect from your coach, coach like support, communication with your coach. They should be able to answer any of your questions, comments, concerns. If you're having issues with workouts or exercises, like your coach can help you with that if you communicate it. Timely responses, getting timely responses from your coaches, which should be laid out, that expectation with your coach. If it's 24 hours, it's 24 hours. If it's less, then it's less. Like whatever your coach has said, then, that's what you should expect. Your coach isn't here to judge you. They will not judge you. They're here to support you and help you live a better lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, a coach can only be as good as the adherence of the client.
Yep. And then you should expect a good plan from your coach, science-based, based not on fads or bullshit gimmicks, whatever, just legit
discount codes.
Yeah, just legit hard work and, customization based on you, your schedule, your injuries, things like that. And then a wrap up of what your coach expects from you. Again, communication, program compliance, intensity, and completing the check-in. Can't matter to them more than it matters to you.
You need to come up with an acronym for that. Like, I like that.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to think about that one.
Yeah, hit me up in like a month. After I'm eating more.
So we know this one was kind of like here and there and here and there, but we did it. We made it.
And it was a good episode.
Stay tuned for the next few weeks. It should be interesting as our brains start working less and less.
So, but in the meantime, I've been James.
Oh my God, that was different.
I've been James.
You've been James?
I've been James.
Okay.
All right, James.
All right. Until next time. Thanks for listening to Macros, Mindset, and Muscles. Until next time.
I'm James.
I'm Brittany. We're out.